I've never asked anybody not to scroll before on a video. If mental health is anything that means anything to you, please don't scroll. Please stay and listen to my story. On how 4 years ago today, I wanted to end my life. I looked at a Facebook video and I lit this candle on behalf of myself. I asked you to stay and listen to my story because if mental health means anything to you, I'd like you to listen to my story on how 4 years ago today, I wanted my life to be over. 4 years ago today, I didn't want to be here on this planet, and I wanted to end my life. 4 years ago today, I was out with a group of girls. There were problems within our friends group over jealousy, over envy, over who got invited to a couple's dinner, over who went out with this one, over petty bullshit drama. We're in our 40s and 50s, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not even kidding you. I don't care anymore who knows my story. I don't care whose name I drop. I'm 51 years old, and 4 years ago today, I wanted to end my life over petty drama. About a week or two into me wanting to end my life, I received a phone call from someone who called herself my sister and told me to keep her name out of my mouth. And my reply to her was, I just want my life to end. Her reply back to me was, just keep my name out of your mouth. This person then proceeded to go on telling people while I just tried to help her. Fast forward 2 years, and through another mutual friend, I was asked to just let bygones be bygones and forgive her. And I did. It was then thrown in my face. Well, I tried there. I tried to be there for you. And that's the line she portrayed. In that same time frame, the two girlfriends that I was out with 4 years ago today finally sat me down and asked me what was going on in my life at that time. That's the story I'd like to tell. And if you've made it this far, I do appreciate you staying. My story isn't anything, but it's my story. So, if anybody's followed me, I tell you I've been on a weight loss journey, and I suffer from binge eating disorder, and candy is my weakness. And when I got depressed, and when I got emotional, I turned to candy. I still do, 4 years later. I still suffer with it. I don't play the victim. I don't say, woe is me. I don't say I have a problem. I don't say, well, I can't control it, but it's still a problem in my life. And even as a psychic medium, even as an intuitive, everybody has their vice. And sometimes I can't control the temptations, just like an alcoholic. You could take the alcohol away from the alcoholic, and you could take the cocaine away from a drug addict, you could take the heroin away from a heroin addict. But the food is so easily available, and there are days I just can't control it. And anybody can come in my comments and tell me, yeah, I can, yeah, I can, and I can't. And that is who I am. And I accept it, and I'm okay with it, because I still dropped 175 pounds, even with my addiction to candy. And I was in the heat of my weight loss journey, and I had just started seeing a weight loss psychologist, and the psychologist told me that I had to start facing my childhood traumas. So in facing my childhood traumas, I had said to two friends of mine, let's go out for a couple's dinner. And they said yes, and because I scheduled it, I was the victim. And that's where the whole problem started. Well, Cece scheduled it, so it's Cece's fault. That's how everything got started, is because I was known as the big mouth, because I scheduled it. So you scheduled the dinner, so you did it. Like, what are we, 5? That's how things went in our group. Because I said it, it was my fault. This one person wasn't invited because she wasn't a couple, and how come I was left out, and I wanted to go too, and what does it matter if I'm not a couple, but I don't give a shit who goes. I just wanted to go out to dinner. And this person wound up going out with another person, and she felt like she was babysitting her the whole night, and bitched and moaned, and I turned around and said, I told you I never trusted her. To one other friend, and it got back, and she screenshotted, and screenshots went back and forth, and I got called out for what I said, and I said, well, I said what I said. And that drama got flipped on me after trying to deal with what I was dealing with my weight loss psychologist. I was fighting with my boyfriend at the time, and I was fighting with my daughter at the time, and I wasn't happy at my job at the time, and I just felt like I didn't have an outlet, and I felt like there was no avenue in my life that I was happy with. My daughter and I sometimes don't get along. She reminds me a lot of her father, who's been going on now 11 years that he's not here. And there are traits of her that I love, and there are traits of her that remind me of her dad that I didn't love. And we have a great relationship now, but back then we did not. And I just felt like I was alone in life. I felt like nobody loved me. I felt like I didn't love myself. I felt very scared and alone. I felt like my family was hard to understand me. I felt like nobody was getting me. I just felt like, where was I going in life? And that's where my spiritual journey started. And I truly started the shadow work then. I had bought my first book, and that's where I started. And that's where, Jen, when you start watching this, I know you're going to start crying, but that's where my girlfriend Jen in August of 2022 saved my life. So from March of 2022 to August of 2022 were the hardest months of my life, because through those months, I thought of suicide almost every day. Every day of goosebumps for confirmation. Almost every day, I would pick up the bottle of pills and go grab the bottle of vodka, and I just wanted to end my life. I know this is very long-winded. I talk a lot. If you've made it this far, shadow work saved me. Jen saved me. Jen called me one day after my boyfriend and I broke up in August and said, snap the F out of it. Screw everybody. Gave me a list of affirmations and said, pick 5 and post them around your house. And if you purchase my PDF project, that is in my link in my bio, some of those same affirmations is exactly what I offer to you, because that's what was taught to me. Jen didn't get licensed in any of this where I did, but Jen is a sweetheart and I love her to death. She saved my life. She's a friend. She cared. And she still cares, and I'm still friends with her today. And April, I love you with all my heart and soul. Chrissy, I know we've drifted apart because of my fight with your husband, and maybe one day we'll find peace back with each other, and I love you so much. And as for the ones who couldn't find love in themselves and felt like fighting with me was the only answer in your life, I love everybody. I have no ill will towards anybody. You have to heal yourself in order to find love in others, and I truly believe that. My light will never go out for anybody. I have a tattoo permanently on my arm with a semicolon and a heart. It's my reminder to never give up on myself, and I'll never give up on you. And if you've made it this far, I love you all. Please give me a follow. And I thank you for watching my story on how I'll always be here, forever and ever. Thank you, and have a wonderful day.